Hello everyone, welcome to the webinar. Thanks for joining today. We shall be waiting a couple more minutes so that others can join and then we will continue with our today's webinar. Alright, so let's get started. I hope everyone is audible. I'm audible. If I'm audible, just give a thumbs up. Okay. Um, Hello everyone, I'm Syed Salahuddin. I'm Zoho one developer at Spikra and I have my expertise in Zoho Creator, Zoho Analytics, and daily scripting. So today we will be having a webinar on Zoho Vertical Studio. Let me just share my screen. Yeah. So today we will be discussing about Zoho Vertical Studio and what we are going to build it once and sell it forever with Zoho Vertical Studio, and more importantly, how you can turn your expertise into a product. So before starting, let me ask you all something. Like, why does every new client project feels like starting from scratch, even when we have already solved the same problem before? Think about it. Like, same requirements, same modules, same logic, just different clients every time. We might build a CRM for one client, then another client comes in, and what do we do? We start again from the scratch for that. So we redesign, we rebuild them, and reconfigure that CRM for the specific new client. Even though deep down we all know that we already have made the solution, right? And I'm sure that many of you have felt this, that you finish a project and you think if another client asks for the same thing, you already know what to do, but when the client actually comes, we don't reuse it as a product. Instead, we just build it from the scratch. So it's like we're rebuilding it as a whole new project, even though we already did that. So the problem is not that we don't have solutions. The problem is that we are not packaging those solutions whenever we made them. So that's exactly what this session is about going to be. So building it once and selling it for us using the Zoho Vertical Studio is what we will be discussing for today. So today agenda will be we will start with productized solutions and understand why shifting this mindset is important, and then we will move to vertical SaaS so that we will see how this concept works in real world scenarios. After that, I will be introducing Zoho Vertical Studio and walk you through its key capabilities and its core concepts. And then we will be having a live walkthrough into the Vertical Studio. And then I shall be discussing about the Zoho advantage and the benefits for the ecosystem it does provides. And then finally we'll wrap it with our Q&A sessions. So yeah, so let's start with the first concept, like productized solutions. Yeah, so from projects to products, like traditionally, most of us work on projects. Whenever a client comes in, we build something, we deliver it, and that's where it ends. But as a product works differently. You build it once, and you can offer it to multiple customers. So that's the first shift from building for one to building for many. And one time effort to recurring revenue. It's like because of that, your effort becomes one time, but your returns can become recurring. So instead of earning once per project, you start earning continuously from the same solutions. So that's where real scalability begins. Yeah. So focus on scalability, not repetition, is what that brings us to the next one. Most of us, our effort today goes into the repetition, like same model, same workflow, same logic, same automations, and everything. Moreover, configuration is begin replicating and repetitive. But as a product thinking, shift that from replicating work to the scaling what we have already worked with, right? So building the assets with and not just the deliverables. Instead of just delivering the solution, we start building the actual product which can become as an assets for the uh, client's presence that we will be using in a recurring manner. So something that has value beyond one client will become more reusable and will be scalable over the time. So yeah, so let me explain it with a simple example. Yeah, okay. So like imagine you love making sandwiches, okay, and you're so good at it that all your friends keep asking you to make sandwiches for them as well. And casually they will say like you can make a fortune out of it, right? So it means like if you are an expert at this, and then you can make a very well sandwich like a professional chef, then why not you can make fortune out of it, right? So using it you can make some good earnings, right? Isn't it? So yeah, so you may think why not like start a business out of it, right? So like how hard it would be that we start imagining and calculating. We begin to like imagine daydreaming and all, like for an hour I can like cook sandwiches for 3 members, then for 6 hours I can cook for 18 members, and if we make per person for $50, then I can make 1,500 approximately around the day, like somewhat like that. And we just started our daydreaming, right? Yeah. So but that's where the reality hits you in the face, because opening a shop from the scratch is not that quite simple. because to open a shop you may need a kitchen, you may need a place, you may need the equipments that are appropriate to cook the sandwiches in the bulk amount of orders, and then a building counter and the staff members to manage those building counter, and then storefront storage rooms, and many more things. So that's a lot of work that we have to do before even making a single sandwich sales in a perspective. So that's what, like, but imagine what if like someone gives you a fully built shop, right? So here comes a business person and gave you a fully built shop with the all equipments and tools and whatever you need as an exceptional assets, that resources you might need to run a successful shop, right? And ask you to just, you can name it as you want, and you can set the menu items whatever you would like, and you can set the prices that you would like for your menu items. So as simple as that, that would be the great opportunity sandwich lover to make as a business, right? So that is what is called as a productized system. So here comes the vertical SaaS. So now that we understand the idea of productized solutions, let's talk about this vertical SaaS, which will be important to understand in order to know about the vertical studio. So let's take the next step here. How do we actually apply this in the real world? I mean, that's where the vertical SaaS comes in. So vertical SaaS simply means building software for a specific industry, not something generic, but something designed deeply for one domain. So, like for example, you can take a CRM for a dentist, right? So, what would be the things that a dentist would be needed in his day-to-day life, and the CRM have to be reconfigured or set up in a manner that it will be useful for the dentist kind of persons, right? And but a CRM built specifically for uh, like some genre or a generic manufacturing industry or and all would be representing as the vertical SaaS. So a system designed specifically for a particular industry is what called as a vertical SaaS. And when you build for a specific industry, you understand their exact problems actually. So you can like make their specific workflows. You can make their own requirements, needs, and expectations. So your solutioning is not just useful for that one particular person. You also become highly relevant. That because of that, customers are willing to pay you more. But also you are becoming more perfectly knowledgeable that you can give the right solution for that niche of the industry's person. So yeah, instead of just adjusting to the software adapts to them. So if you combine this with productized thinking, you are not just building software, you are building a repeatable solution for an entire industry. So now the question is like, how do we actually build something like this without starting from scratch every time, right? And that's what the Zoho Vertical Studio does, but for the software apps. So yeah, Zoho Vertical Studio is something that you can use just like the three simple steps. You can rename it, you can reconfigure it, and then you can sell it, right? And here with this perspective, you can say you can select the specific industry that you want to make the niche industry use of it, and then you can customize the workflows, automation, and pick up the features that are relevant for the industry and all, and then you can reconfigure it with a personalized brand, and you can use your own logos and all. So that concept is being called as the white labeling in this vertical studio, which means The Zoho will be a back of the solution, but indifferent it won't even be included or foreseen for any customers. So it will be totally like it's your own solution that you are providing for the customers with the rebranding and domain changing and all. And then you can set the price and sell it forever with the one solution that you are think you are expertised with, right? So yeah, so this is where the Vertical Studio helps you with just three simple steps. Like you ideate the industry, you can choose your expertise on which industry you are with, and then you can build into a simply scalable as a vertical niche industry solution, and then you can simply launch it as your own personal brand, and then you can resell it over and over again. And white labeling, as just I said, is a beautiful concept of this vertical studio that you can uh, hide the Zoho behind this and then sell it as your own product to the customers that they won't even recognize it's the actual Zoho behind it. So this is like a low-code platform where it mainly focuses for the entrepreneurs or vertical application specialists, like we just discussed the industry niche selective persons or the industry experts who are already been in the industry trying to build some kind of SaaS products for them or for their own organizations and all. Yeah. So now we can move to our live walkthrough for Zoho Vertical. I have already opened it here. So we have to go via the developer page. So here you can able to view the developer tools for the Zoho and under which we can select this Vertical Studio. So I will be like going to walk you through with this, like with a simple idea on how the things are going to be, what are the things that are available here, and how we can create and publish it as an solution for a specific industry, and then how we can sell it, right? So under here, you need to select on the create vertical app, and here it's going to ask you for the basic information, like what is your app going to be. So I have tried earlier, so this time I'm going to give. Yeah, here you can see a lot of industry verticals varieties. Like I will give like my real estate solution. And for the app URL, you just simply have to give a random or a decisive word that you think it could be relevant for this. It can be anything. It doesn't have to be specific with the URL, HTTPS or and all, right? So you can just simply give my real estate. That's it. So you can select the industry over here. So here is real estate. And then these are the required models that can be possibly useful or not, which is upon you. You decide what are the modules that you would like to be included in this specific solution. So I would just simply remove the forecast, and then pretty much most I would like to have all the modules. So I will say description something. Yeah, and then I click on create. Let's wait for a few seconds. It will take few time. Yeah. So here it is. So now that you have got the vertical solution for a real estate, you will able to view all the selected modules over here. You will able to like integrate the dilute scripting and then connect the third party apps. and then make the packaging for this and setting the price, and then you can make the publish. So I will not go deep into the workflows and automations customization for this one. Yeah, so let's just go back to the rebranding here. So you can add your app logo over here. You can change the solutioning name for your application, and then you can click on publish. So while publishing, it asks you to set up the pricing for this application. So here I will click on the pricing page and the creating the new plan. So for this, you have to give the planning name for your application. So I simply just have the starter plan and give us a basic plan. And whatever the models you would like to have, you can select those and give it to the specific users with this basic plan. So you can change it according to the growth plan tier persons or scale level tier persons, and depend on those they will able to have the number of modules selectively. So once I selected this basic plan, I will save it as a plan module, and you can able to view that plan over here. So this will become the pricing page for your application. So here we can also edit the description for my pricing pages. For now, I would like to leave it like this. And also they allowed you to have the test for your application as in a sandbox manner. So once I clicked in this test module, it gives me the sandbox of the application that I would be using. Currently, it doesn't have any data, so all modules are empty. But you can play around it and include and test what are the things you would like to have. So even after the workflows automation integrations, you can test it out with using of this sandbox before publishing it once. Yeah, and then let's add another price as well, just to show you how it works. Adding a growth plan as an intermediate plan. Selecting 5 to 10. That's enough. Yeah. And then I saved it. So here you can able to see the two plans pricing I have just included. And once you have included these pricing pages, you can go for the publish. So here you can click on publish, and then you have to write some description for the publishing note, so that the Zoho Vertical Studio team will be reviewing your application and then making it as an approval, and then you will be receiving your the published domain application solution, which you can resell it over and over again for any kind of customer that you would like to have and build it for the niche industry, right? So I'm currently not giving it for the submission because it's just a sample test application. So I leave it right here like this. Yeah, so pretty much that is the simple walkthrough for the Zoho Vertical Studio. And moreover, for this, if you would like to have the insightful thoughts on how it works and what are the things that it provides, you can log in into your Zoho account and check out the Vertical Studio. And you can also contact us to let us know what kind of help you would like to have. Yeah, so up next, I also like to mention like Zoho has advantage with this vertical studio. So what is the advantage is that with the Zoho ecosystem, you can able to create this connections or integrations within the ecosystem itself. So have the advantage that you can able to connect with the all Zoho products with the accounts that you have here, and with those data you can play around with and make a specific solutions in the vertical solution. Yeah, Yeah, with this, we have come to end of our session. We are happy to help whatever your concluding thoughts or anything. Please let us know in the chat box. You will be waiting a few minutes so that if there are any queries pops up, we can help to resolve that, and then we move to the next part. Ruchika Gupta had asked a question. Can the published solution be further customized for specific user based on their requirement? Uh, yes, Ruchika. Once the solution that you have building with the Vertical Studio, you can publish that, and after publishing, you can also make the changes for the user requirements, and then you can republish that again for the updation and approval from the Vertical Studio team. So to answer that, yes, it's possible. Yes, Ruchika. So I do understand your question that if the customization has to be done for different user, at that point, what do we need to do, right? So for that as well, you might need to build uh, over the published solution again with the configurations and then republish it again. I hope that answers your question. If you have doubts persisting more, you can contact us in our sales for the Spikra. So here I leave you with the contact info so that you can contact us and reach us out with any kind of queries or information that you would like to know. And please do check out our other webinars in our YouTube channel. And I hope this webinar is with something you leave with some insightful thoughts and all. And thank you for attending today's webinar and thank you for your time. Thank you all.